he's got an awful lot to do, whereas John Parrott has just got to be patient.
Yes, and Ray, this pink will go into the corner pocket, so it could be a disastrous mistake from Jimmy.
One. Seven.
I'm sure John will be thinking now, I can just hold myself together. The championship's mine.
8.
Has to be said that throughout this tournament, when John Parrott has had opportunities like this, he scored very heavily.
And,
20. There's only 2 of the remaining reds that are comparatively safe. So what a chance for John Parrott now.
Yes, Ray, now 32 points in front.
27.
And I would be surprised if he doesn't win the championship at this visit.
28.
Just another red, pink, and that red near the corner pocket. And Jimmy will require snookers.
35.
And I think without doubt that John Parrott has certainly deserved
41.
to win the championship. He's played the best snooker throughout the 17 days. And that without doubt has won him it. And Jimmy White has played some great stuff, but he's been overtaken by this man from Liverpool. He's coming to the table, but really it's a pretty hopeless task. He's wanting 3 snookers. And although the balls are set reasonably well for them, it really is asking an awful lot.
Jimmy White.
The problem is not just getting the snookers, but getting them where your opponent can't hit them. And that is the shot that's going to finish this championship.
And John Parrott's waited a long time for this. He's suffered some defeats and disappointments on the way, but finally the whirlwind Jimmy White concedes to John Parrott, and a very deserving champion. John Parrott wins the Embassy World Championship 18 frames to 11.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new Embassy Snooker Champion of the World, John Parrott. You've been anywhere interesting tonight?
Before I go any further, I think I've sat in that chair myself after being beaten in the final, and I think Jimmy deserves an extra round of applause.
The way you walked, you've aged 100 years.
Well, John played fantastic the first session. I never really recovered from that. You know, I never really had a good session myself. But, you know, I can't take it away from John. He played tremendous snooker in that first session. And, as I said, I never recovered. You know, good luck to him. He played very well.
I mean, you got 4-all this afternoon, but the 7-0, I mean, that was a start.
I had a couple of chances today. I was 33 in front one time. And, you know, John potted the red, pink and all the colours. But, you know, the first session he played fantastic snooker, and I think it won in the final.
You had a new plan. I'll come to you in a minute, don't worry. You had a new plan this year. You stayed here, didn't even get to your wife's birthday. You couldn't have tried harder, could you?
Well, you know, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, you know, like, what can you do? You know, you've only got to watch the news, and I think we're all very lucky to be here.
And here's the man who's done it. This first session, John, was quite amazing.
I can't play any better than that. I'm looking forward to getting the video off you for that one. Because, quite honestly, the first session I wouldn't have liked to have played myself. I felt fantastic coming into the final, and I got a dream start, and after that it was a matter of, you know, just keep plugging away and nursing the lead, really. As I say, 7-0 is a great start in a final. You can only dream about that.
Any idea, I mean, why it happened? I mean, he wasn't playing bad snooker. He only made a couple of mistakes in that session. Fun? It turned out.
A culmination, really. Probably, as I say, of losing 18-3 to Steve Davis a couple of years ago in the final, and then managing to beat him 16-10 in the semi-final was a great boost for me, and I've probably come out, you know, flying the next day.
So, was there any one particular moment here, apart from the 7-0, and then it sort of dropped back a little? He got a couple of frames. He's going to shake hands with his friends and everything else, but you got a couple of frames. He got a couple. Did you begin to have any doubts at all?
I never slept a wink last night. Even though I was 11-5, I'd have probably had a better time if I'd have tried to nail a blancmange to the ceiling. Absolutely no way I was going to sleep last night. I woke up and the covers were on the pillow, so I had no sort of sleep at all, and I knew it was going to be tough. Even though I had 11 frames on the board, that 18, it just seems like another mountain to climb. And all I've done, really, basically, it's just heart and courage and a bit of bottle that's got me through, really, because I've hung in there after the first session, which, as I say, I can't play any better.
And at last, you've done it here. You're terribly big in Europe, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it was that can of Continental air spray that somebody gave me before I came. I only seem to win in France and Monte Carlo and places like that when no one sees me, so it's all...
And they're not anywhere near as good as Sheffield, are they?
Nowhere near as good as Sheffield.
And at least you've made up for the bad news about the football.
Well, I've got to win, got to take some silverware home to Merseyside because no one else has got any.
Jimmy and John, well done to you both for, I mean, not just a great final, but entertaining snooker throughout the whole 17 days here. And now there's a little matter of walking up to the table here because it's time for the wages. You'll be pleased about that, won't you? You get paid as well. So if you could just come up to the table here, and I can introduce to you the sponsoring party, and that is Mr. Peter Middleton, Director of Imperial Tobacco, with Mr. John Spencer, former snooker player and chairman of the WPPSA, accompanied by Mr. Peter Dyke. And first of all, to the runner-up, Jimmy White, a nice cheque, not just for £80,000, but also, of course, he still has the high break prize and has won it with a wonderful 140, so 80,000 plus 12,000 to Jimmy White. No time for the tips, Jimmy. Just take the cheque and run. And now to Mr. John Parrott, a cheque for £135,000, and of course, more important, I think, the title and the trophy, the new Embassy Champion of the World, John Parrott.